I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay, all right.
Yeah, the crowd definitely had a mixed reaction about Tony Hinchcliffe's joke about the island, and Joy Behar wasn't happy herself.
And it's not funny. I mean, you don't do that type of joke at this Nuremberg rally. I mean, come on.
Now, funny is subjective, of course, but people are objectively allowed to critique it.
You know, we have a rule in comedy. If you're a good comedian, you don't punch down, you punch up. You go after the big guys, you know?
Now, I agree. There are so many opportunities to make fun of yourself, to poke fun at the Democratic Party, which is like 50% of the US. I mean, we'll see by next week, but you know what I'm saying. You know, that could hurt Tony's picks' chances at winning. Now, Obama has reacted to Tony's joke.
The man holds this big rally at Madison Square Garden, and the warm-up speakers were trotting out and peddling the most racist, sexist, bigoted stereotypes on island of garbage.
Yeah, the crowd wasn't happy about that. And yo, Obama, you have too many pauses, bro. I had to chop it up, okay? The man pauses.
These are fellow citizens he's talking about. Here in Philadelphia, they are your neighbors. They are your friends.
They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
Now, being unbiased here, nobody's ever going to 100% agree with who they're voting for. I get where Biden's coming from, but I don't think it's fair to just pin it on everyone. Now, Angel M. Cintrón, the chair of Puerto Rico's Republican Party, threatened to withdraw his endorsement of Trump unless he personally apologized, which, spoiler, he doesn't really apologize. Trump actually saying he doesn't know the comedian, saying, quote, "I don't know him. Someone put him up there." Trump told ABC he didn't hear the remark, but stopped short of denouncing it. Joy ain't believing it.
And this idea that Trump didn't know about this is BS.
That's what they all say.
There is so much at stake in this election for Puerto Rican voters and for Puerto Rico.
J-Lo shared Kamala's message to Puerto Ricans on U.S. territory, also sharing Kamala's plans to help Puerto Rico. And yeah, it's no real secret that J-Lo is a Kamala supporter. Jennifer Lopez appearing at Oprah's Unite for America in Michigan, supporting Kamala back in September.
Even though some have forgotten, I remember what it was like when Trump was president. I remember what he did and he said about Puerto Rico, about our people.
Puerto Rico.
Now, Mark Anthony showed his support for Kamala as well.
I remember after Hurricane Maria devastated our island, Trump blocked billions in relief while thousands died.
Going in on Trump for his lack of empathy and some of the things he said after visiting Puerto Rico.
Trump threw paper towels and called Puerto Rico dirty and poor. That's why I support Kamala Harris for president.
Now, Ricky Martin also showed support of Kamala, even posting Tony's clip.
There's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico.
Writing in Spanish, "This is what they think about us." Also posting a picture to Instagram saying, quote, "a floating island of garbage," mocking Tony.
And we don't like what was said about Puerto Rico. And we know how to take the trash out, Donald Trump. Trash that has been collecting since 2016. And that's you, Donald Trump.
Bad Bunny also sharing Kamala's message to Puerto Rico.
I will never forget what Donald Trump did and what he did not do when Puerto Rico needed a caring and a competent leader.
My fellow Puerto Ricans, Trash Collection Day is November 5th, 2024.
I will never forget.
Don't forget it.
You know, if Trump asking for the death penalty for 5 young men of color, Black and Latino, the exonerated 5 wasn't enough for you, if Trump getting investigated for refusing to rent to Black people wasn't enough for you.
And these Latinos, they love making babies too. Just know that. They do. They do. There's no pulling out. They don't do that. They come inside, just like they did to our country.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't care how edgy your sense of humor is. I don't even think the Republicans were liking those. Just why?
If Trump promoting a racist trope against the first Black president with the birtherism wasn't enough for you, if Trump calling Mexicans rapists and criminals and bad hombres wasn't enough for you.
They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some
I assume are good people.
And I'm sorry, this is where your message gets tainted. You can't just say like, yeah, there's some good people, but you know, there's a bunch of rapists as well. The delivery system ain't delivering properly.
If Trump throwing paper towels at people in need after Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico wasn't enough for you,
First time I've ever said garbage can, but you know what? It's a very accurate description.
then maybe, just maybe, this comedian, handpicked, chosen, vetted by the Trump campaign because he reflects what Trump has said his entire life.
Now, Anna also had another speech on CNN, and whether this affected Trump's campaign or not, and the fact that he hasn't apologized.
This idea that this doesn't reflect Donald Trump is simply false. Let us just remember what Donald Trump has been saying for the last few days.
We're like a garbage can for the world. That's what's happened. That's what's happened to We're like a garbage can.
That trash word came out of his trash mouth.
First time I've ever said garbage can, but you know what? It's a very accurate description.
This comedian said this because he knows it is okay with Donald Trump and it is okay with that crowd.
I'm thrilled to be back in the city I love and thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots. You're with me. We're all together. We've always been together.
Donald Trump took that podium and was incapable of saying one word against those racist comments because he believes them.
Harlan Williams, you look like Tyler Perry presents Back to the Future.
Now listen, I actually like Kill Tony. I find Tony to be funny at times. Not like a massive fan, but I've casually checked out some of his videos. But picking on a minority, calling it like a trash territory, is not really a good look whichever way you try to spin it. I love edgy comedy and I will defend it to the end of time, but there's so many other ways you can make fun of people. You can make fun of the Democrats. You don't have to call out a specific group of people.
November 5th, I want you to vote for your heritage and your traditions and your identity. I want you to vote with dignity.
And the Latinos are now not happy.
Comunidad, si ustedes tienen respeto por sí mismos, si tienen dignidad, defiendan esa dignidad y usen sus votos el 5 de noviembre para sacar a Donald Trump.
Yes.
What she said, folks. I'm guessing she just repeated the same thing. But anyway, folks, let me know what you think about some of the reactions to Tony's comedy, whether you guys think he went too far, or whether you guys are standing behind him and some of the jokes Trump has made. And ta-ta for now.